Greetings, adventurers. Well, a couple of weeks ago, Wizards of the Coast put out their um, schedule of when they were going to be putting out books and such for 2024. And turns out that the 2024 50th anniversary edition of D&D, which is not 6th edition, but requires a new set of core books, but it's not a new edition. Your 50th anniversary isn't going to have its core books by 2024. The Monster Manual, the easiest one of the batch because it's mostly copy-paste, is going to be 2025. Player's Handbook, which is kind of the hardest one, and DM's Guide, they'll be 2024. This seems to me like a huge missed opportunity. I mean, it is the Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year, whatever you want to call it, Year of the Dragon, coinciding with 2024, the 50th anniversary of Dungeons and Dragons. Yep. And you're missing it out. Chalk that up to incompetence at somebody's level. All right? Somebody dropped the ball on this. Are they going to be one of the ones that were fired? Probably not. It's probably execs who didn't know that 24 comes after 23, which comes after 22. You know, basic calendar technology. Missed opportunity, okay? Take Harley Davidson. You know, I used to ride. I rode for many years, you know. Rain or shine, didn't matter, you know, year round. Harley Davidson knows how to merchandise, okay? They'll sell you a bike. They'll sell you a good bike, you know. It'll last you a long time. But they will sell every piece of merchandise that they could physically glue, rivet, or weld a logo onto. Okay? More than happy to. And they'll make limited edition this and anniversary that, you know, just to sell more stuff. So from a marketing standpoint, they know what they're doing. Wizards dropped the ball. And at the time, I made the facetious comment, well, heck, you know, if they're going to do something incompetent, they got to do something malicious to balance it out. Maybe Kyle Brinks will go to a game store and have some Pinkerton goons with him so that he can successfully bully a 13-year-old, because frankly, I think he might need the backup in order to accomplish something like that. You know, something malicious to balance the incompetence, whatever. And I was joking. But then this week comes around, and Wizards kind of does the same thing in two different ways. So they're doubling down on it. First, they put out this video. Thank you for 50 years of D&D. And these people thank themselves and the community. Now, what I've noticed is that when people online talk about, well, the community this, the community that, it's usually somebody trying to organize, hey, everybody, we're all part of a community, and it's defined in such a way that we can kick people out of it and we can determine who's in charge of it. You know, there's this little cliquishness involved, you know. There's always, if there's somebody in it, there's got to be somebody who's out of it. Okay. But no mention, 50 years of this game, no mention of the actual creators of the game. Gary Gygax, Dave Arneson, any of his crew. Seems weird. You can find the YouTube clip. I may include it in the description. I might not. I don't know. But what was interesting is there were a few dozen comments in the comment section. Hey, yeah, we thank Gary Gygax and Dave. We get, you know, Dave and Gary and Gary and Dave, and yeah, we thank Gygax, and yeah, why didn't you mention Gygax? Why didn't you mention Gary? Huh? Why didn't you mention him? We thank Gary. And all of those comments disappeared. Just hidden. Like 12 hours later, a bunch of them popped back up and then poof, gone. I just checked about 20 minutes ago. All the comments still gone. Wow. You know, you're standing on the shoulders of giants and peeing down their legs. You know, you're the pigeons on the statue, guys. Really. You know, just pooping on the shoulder like a pigeon. I mean, and of course, you know, these. Why would they do that? Why? An oversight? I mean, it would make sense to, you know, that you could have an oversight during your video. You know, we just choose to thank these people and we kind of forget these other ones because they're old dead white guys. But then going through the comments to get rid of people who mention the people who made the thing that you're making money off of. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. All Wizards has done is take something that somebody else made and then make new versions of it. Some would say that they were upgrades. Some say that they were downgrades, but they are legitimately new and different versions. So some effort came into it, but you didn't invent the core. You didn't invent the concept of role-playing games. Okay? And you want to just scrub that all out. Lame. Pretty lame. But then we have this book coming out in 2024. Oh, basically it's the history of Dungeons and Dragons. It's going to be a great big coffee table book. It's not a game book. There are no new rules, new archetypes, new spells, new character classes, new monsters, none of that. It's a history book. There'll be artwork. It'll be big and shiny and fancy. It'll be a good coffee table book, I'm sure. And WotC Hasbro had a little video about it. And the fellow that was describing this book had to, of course, throw in slander against the creators. He didn't write the book. He's just telling you about it. And, of course, he has to have the myth of, well, Gary was a racist and a sexist. These old sexist, people and racist people, they're terrible people. I mean, so Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman wrote Dragonlance back in the day. Margaret, nice lady, she played literally at Gary's table. And she tells people, Gary was always nice to me. Gary was not a misogynist towards me. He did not treat women at the table poorly. So calling him a sexist is kind of bad. It's just unnecessary and unproven and untrue slander. As for racist, there's kind of little to no proof of that. Yes, the book Oriental Adventures existed. That was a book that was meant to capitalize on, hey, ninjas and samurai are cool. Let's make ninjas and samurais into our game. And he had no ability to hire DEI consultants because none of those existed. But he did have players of Japanese ancestry who were presumably at least fairly versed in the culture play. He had about a half a dozen of them play. He said, hey, look, guys, here's the book. What do you think? And they played it. It got approved. So he did put some effort in being decent. So it's just a doubling down on just crapping on your past. There's no point at this. I think it's pathetic. You had last year a guy named Kyle Branks. Still works at Wizards of the Coast. He's still one of their executives, saying basically that white men should leave the hobby. Can't leave the hobby fast enough was the official phrase. I mean, he himself is still in the hobby, so hey, fellow white people, you are bad. I'm curious what his deal is, but then again, no, I'm going wherever I want to go. You're not going to kick me out of nothing, but I'll leave on my own volition. Anybody that goes around saying that WotC is a good caretaker of the legacy of Gygax, no, they're not. They're just pigeons standing on the shoulders of giants. Anyway. You guys can spend your money where you want. Your choice. Game card out.